Hello everyone, this is Shrike playing more Demon Bluff. This is available in the description if you want to try this demo for yourself. We've unlocked Endless mode, but I'm going to keep trying Standard. We're on Ascension 4. And there's still a lot more to see in this lovely, lovely game. This is basically something like Werewolf or Mafia or Throne of Lies, where it is a social deduction game. And you must find the evil amongst all of the good characters. And each character has various different effects and give you different information. And, of course, all of the demons or minions also. There's such a thing. This is very curious that it's only starting with 5 here on this difficulty. Because I am on Ascension 4. Well, they're saying shut up. That means they're probably good. And one of them is, beside them, is a Rambler. There you go. I'm 2 cards away from the closest evil, which is implying that it's either the Rambler or 3. It's probably 3. There are no evils adjacent to me. And then you're the Confessor. Curious. So we have very little information to go off of, mainly because of the Rambler. But adjacent truthful characters tell me to shut up instead of sharing their info. They are truthful, but not necessarily evil. We don't have anyone that pretends to be... Yeah, they all tell the truth. Except for, of course, him who lies. So I have to try and figure out which one of these is telling the truth and which is lying. So let's say he is true, right? Let's say he's good. He tells the truth. That would mean that he is pointing to either 3 or 2 being the evil. But if that's the case, that means 4 cannot be evil. And 4 says there are no evils adjacent to me, which would imply that 3 is not evil. And it would have to be the Rambler that is evil. But remember, this guy is the Poisoner. He's their evil guy. So one adjacent villager is corrupted if possible. Now, that means if the 3 was the evil minion, he could have poisoned the lover into lying and saying that there were no adjacent evils when there in fact one. Now, if he was, for instance, the lover was the evil one and was lying, then this would actually be true. There would be an evil adjacent to them. So they can actually, in fact, not be the Poisoner. They might be corrupted, but they're not the Poisoner. If number 5 is, in fact, the Poisoner, then that would make 5 be the corrupted one. And that would track out. That could be the case. Because both of these are good and saying shut up. So I think 5 is actually the evil one. What we're going to do is we're going to execute. And it was not him. Well then, surely. Is he corrupted actually? I don't think so. So that means it's probably 3. Okay. So it was 3 who was the evil one. And they had corrupted the lover to say that there was no one evil beside. Cool. So interestingly enough, they were disguised as a character and they still got affected by the Rambler. Okay, good to know. Very good to know. Oh, okay, you know, that makes sense. All right, so number 1, they're a knight. They cannot die, so we can check them for free. I love when I get free ones like that. So the minion just died, who was pretending to be the knight. There's a puppeteer, who a random adjacent villager becomes a puppet if possible. It's evil, but cannot lie. Puppet tells the truth, no matter what, by the looks of it. Even if they're corrupted, maybe? So we will have to reveal some cards and see what is available. There's only 1 pair of evil. That means there's 2 evils beside each other. 1 or 7 is a minion. which, well, 1 was in fact a minion, so 7's probably not. 1 is a real knight. Well, you're either corrupted and very confused, which could be the case because of the Plague Doctor. Plague Doctor, 1 good villager is corrupted, or you're evil, which is also possible. So you are very suspicious, so mark them there. Lover, 1 evil adjacent to me. That is pointing to 7 or 5 being evil. So 7, you're not looking too hot right now. 2 evils adjacent to me. Well, that's unlikely, but technically possible because the puppeter. So like if the Oracle was a puppet, 4 could be the puppet, but no. Instead we got the Plague Doctor, who also would have made someone lie. So I'm most curious. I'm assuming 2 is corrupted. Or sorry, 5 is not corrupted. They are not corrupted, evidently. But the minions over here and the puppeteer can only transform those who are beside. So this is not possible. That means they're probably lying. And then that means this person is probably the puppet. There you go. Okay, cool. So interestingly, he was the corrupted one. Number 7, who was saying that 7 was a real knight, was corrupted into lying and giving us information, false information. And I figured that these were actually beside each other, because not only because it's a random adjacent villager, but because the knitter said that there was a pair of evils beside each other. And then this pointed out number 1. All right, so yeah, that was pretty clean. Let's go next. It's going to get a lot harder as we go along here, though. As you can already see, now there's 8 cards. Oh god, the Rambler. Okay, let's see what we have in our deck here. The Baker converts other good villagers to become bakers. The Empress teaches us 3 different characters. The Slayer can potentially execute. The Judge can tell us if someone's lying. The Fortune Teller can pick 2 characters and learn if any of them are evil. The Rambler, we've already discovered last time. There are 2 villager roles in the current village. So we'll get 2 of the same, which could already happen because of the Baker. All right. And then we got another puppeteer. So there's potentially up to 3 evils here. Let's pick things not near the Rambler to start with. 2, 3, or 7. One of them is evil. All right. Looks like there's no corruption here. There's no way for anyone to be corrupted. I was a fortune teller, so they're not the original Baker, or so they claim. The Slayer, fortune teller. The Empress is just saying shut up. Baker is also saying just shut up. And then we have another Baker who says they were a Baker. But they're not saying they're the original Baker, which is what the phrasing of they usually use. Aw, if like they're the very first Baker. So I don't know if number 2 was the original Baker. And there happened to be just 2 of the same kind because of the shaman. And 2 of them happened to be bakers. And then that other Baker got converted into a Baker. That's pretty far-fetched. That's pretty far-fetched. I'm suspecting one of them is evil. And the Empress, number 4, is also saying one of them is evil. You, unfortunately, don't get any information out of. We also have 2 Empresses here, which is very suspicious. Oh, no. 3 Bakers and 2 Empresses. Well, fortune teller. Pick 2 characters. Learn if any of them is evil. So what I could do is be like, are either of these evil? Neither of them are evil, according to her. If she is a real fortune teller. The Slayer, if someone's evil, I really need to find out if this Empress is evil. Because if that's the case, then that points to the fortune teller. Ugh. I didn't want to think about it. Slayer, can you kill this one? You can! It's a shaman, okay. So their information is actually a lie. 2, 3, or 7 are evil. That might mean none of them are evil, which would track with 7. It also might mean 2 of them are evil. That's also a possibility. Okay. Baker was a fortune teller. Well, the Slayer did in fact kill them, so I think they're pretty safe. I didn't get any information out of these guys. I have really nothing else to go on here. Other than I think we could try and kill 5. But here's the catch. We've got the puppeteer. Adjacent random villager becomes a puppet if possible. I suspect both of these. One of these is the puppeteer and one is evil. Or it's these two. So I can test this. Saying this one's suspicious. Okay. Then, in that case, we kill this one. I lost. I did get a new shaman skin, though, which is, it's fine, but... Who was it? It was these two? Wait, what? The puppet doesn't lie. Okay. Well, we got the puppet to kill one of the evils, but then I didn't expect... Wow, okay, I didn't think about that. I had him pegged for good because he succeeded doing it. So if evil disguises themselves, they still get to do their ability as normal. I guess that does track. But because he didn't... Oh, wow. Huh. That's an interesting mechanic. Okay, well, luckily we do get 4 tries. We lose 1 heart. We'll be at 3. But we get to try again. With a whole new hand, of course. Minion and twin minion. And Chancellor. So the Chancellor converts someone to be an outcast, but they always sit beside it. So anyone beside one of the outcasts, one of these yellow characters, are immediately more suspicious. Okay, there's a wretch who detects as evil to other people. I am 3 cards away from the closest evil. Well, that is immediately wrong because you would be detecting this wretch as evil. And I don't think there's any corruption. Oh, there's a plague doctor. Okay, there might be a plague doctor. I corrupted him. So, but he is suspicious right now. Fortune teller. Learn if any 2 characters are evil. 6, 4, or 6 is a twin minion. Yourself? You're pointing at yourself? That would heavily imply that 6. Wait. Surely you're lying, right? Surely. Or you're corrupted. Closest evil is clockwise, which would imply that she is not evil and just confused. Minion is 2 cards away from closest evil. Closest evil could be the poet or the wretch, which would imply if it's the wretch, then it would be the fortune teller or himself, which I don't think he would incriminate himself, but maybe. Or if the poet's evil, then it would be the hunter. It would be the hunter. He's already pretty sus. But you're saying the closest evil is if it was the poet. There's 3 evils here. Oh, man. Yeah, they are twins. Okay, the Chancellor is probably you. Oh, they're pretty spread out here, is the thing. Let's try and see who's corrupted. What would be the most useful? Knowing if he was corrupted or not would be very helpful. Because if he's corrupted, we'll get to reveal an evil character. If he's not corrupted, he could just be evil. But he could, if he's telling the truth, that would point at those guys. I'd also really like to know if the Oracle is corrupted. Actually, it doesn't really matter. They are the corrupted or evil. Because they're literally incriminating themselves. Or I think they disguise themselves as a good villager. Fine disguise. They can disguise themselves as neutrals, which is terrifying. Truly, truly terrifying. Closest evil is clockwise. They're saying clockwise as well. I would imply that they're like equidistant around. Let's try the hunter. Let's see if he is corrupted. Not corrupted. All right, I'm gonna kill her then. She was the corrupted one. Why would I do that? I'm such a fool. He's not corrupted. That means he has to be evil. I should have killed him. That was what I was trying to do. Sorry. Brain fart. That means there's an evil closer to... Also, he told the truth, so he's probably not an evil disguised as a plague doctor. And there was, in fact, a corrupted character. Okay, well, that means you are good. And the closest evil is clockwise. That probably means the scout. Although that... Yeah, okay. Probably the scout. Looking very sus. And maybe the fortune teller. No. Because if it was a fortune teller, she would be saying they're equidistant. Is there anybody validating her? The enlightened at number 5. Currently... Wait, what? She shows arrows, but when I hover over her, she does not. Learn random information. Closest evil is clockwise. I mean, that would be true. It would be the wretch. Minion is 2 cards away from closest evil. 2 cards away. Which... If the closest evil is here, that would be fortune teller or himself. If it was the enlightened, it would be himself or the fortune teller. That's heavily implying that the fortune teller is evil, but the enlightened is saying no. I don't have much information to go with. I think I got 2 people pointing at the scout. Okay. Good. Good. Now we just have to figure out where the minion is. Who is the minion? I do have the fortune teller who can help tell us potentially, but they'll probably just lie if they're evil. If they are the minion, they will lie to us. I could see if they lie to me or not. We know who the corrupted person was. There's no other corrupted characters. So if this person lies to us... So what I do is I pick 2 characters I know are evil. She told us the truth. So she is not evil. They are pointing at each other. So it's kind of a 50-50. Or, you know what? It could just be the wretch. It could, the wretch could be legitimately evil. So, I can look at these and say, the minion is 2 cards away from the closest evil. That means it's not 2 cards away from the closest evil. The closest evil to him is himself. I don't know if it works that way. It's the problem. And I don't actually know the closest evil. I am 3 cards away from the closest evil is wrong. It's a lie. So that means there's an evil that's closer than the enlightened, which means the poet is the evil one. I was right. Okay. Fortune teller. Here, apply the skin. Village is safe. So that is how we can use what the evil characters lie to us about to our advantage to narrow down the options when you didn't have any other information to go off of. That is amazing. I love that. That's so good. All right. I always start with number 1 just because that's how I am. All right. What are our... We got the witch, so I cannot reveal all the cards. We've got the puppeteer again. Oh, God. Okay. There's up to 3. We've got the doppelganger, who disguises as a good villager currently in play. She does get their abilities, as is. Bombardier, you lose if you execute them. All right, number 2. There are 2 pairs of evil. If that's true, that means they'd have to all be like in a row. Let's do number 8. Okay, that's not very useful. Gee, I wonder if one of these is the doppelganger. Oh, the fortune teller. I wonder if any of them is evil. Bombardier. Oh, that's not really what I want to see. I'm not getting a lot of information here. I'm getting very little information. The hunter. I have 1 card away from the closest evil. So now I can reveal 4 or 5. Do I want to use any information before I determine which one I should flip over? So for instance, this would tell me how many are evil. This would tell me if any of them are evil. Let's see. I would like to know how many are evil here. 2 of these 3 are evil. If I use the fortune teller, I want to see if, in theory, this should give 0. It says false. Neither of these are evil. That means what I can do is kill you. Kill you. Yes! Oh, crap. Wait. Oh, no. The puppet's there. Does that mean the Bombardier is the puppet master? Puppeteer? That's the only way for this puppet to be converted. Well, you lose if you execute them, so if I'm wrong on this, we're screwed. Now, here's the thing, though. One of these has got to be the doppelganger. Between 3, 4, and 5. That checks out. That is true. This was also true. So even if this guy was evil, he would have lied to us. So it can't be that. It has to be 6. Okay. I just had to cover all of my bases just in case. And yes, there's a doppelganger. Mwah, beautiful. That was slick. I liked that. Well, there's less cards now, but there's 2 evils. Let's see. There's a twin minion and Puka. Oh, gosh. Okay, Puka. Villagers adjacent to me are corrupted if possible. So anyone that's around her gets corrupted. Oracle. 1 or 4 is a twin minion. 5 or 6 is a twin minion. There are no corrupted characters. Well, that's immediately a lie, but if Puka's beside them, she could be corrupted and therefore would be lying. I'm thinking 3 is Puka and that those 2 are corrupted thus far. 1, 3, or 4 is evil. And I am good. There's a twin minion, and I don't know where that is. 5 or 6 is the twin minion. 1 or 4 is the twin. Well, killing, if I kill 3, I'll learn a lot of information. Whether they're alive or not, or good or not. They're not. They're the twin minion, though. That means she was lying. And that would mean Puka would have to be beside her to corrupt, or she's Puka. So either Bombardier is Puka and corrupted number 2. But then number 4 wouldn't be corrupted and would just be lying. And therefore it's more likely 1 is evil. I mean, that could be a lie being corrupted. All right, let's look at all of our options here. If number 2 is Puka, then nobody would be corrupted. And actually 4 would be telling the truth. Because I don't think Bombardier can be corrupted. He doesn't do anything. Although I don't know that for sure. And she would be lying that 1 or 4 is a twin minion. Well, we already know that's not true. So she has to be corrupted or Puka. If number 1 is Puka, then number 2 is lying because she's corrupted. Number 6 would have to also be corrupted. And number 4 would also have to be corrupted. That's not possible. So Puka's not number 1. Therefore, we just kill number 2. And she is Puka. Fantastic. I love this game. What solid logic puzzles. Okay, we have a lot of cards here. Got the puppeteer again. Oh no, there's 3 to 5 demons. Or evils, I should say. The drunk disguised as a random villager, is corrupted and lies, but cannot be cured of the corruption. Puppeteer makes a puppet. Chancellor makes an outcast. This hides one outcast in the deck, so there's a third outcast here. And the Rambler can prevent these guys from giving us information. Oh, man. This is going to be a tough one. A very tough one. 2 is good. Well, let's see what 2 is. 1 is evil. 1, 5, or 7. Well, assuming 1 is telling the truth, then you'd be telling the truth. So 5 or 7 would then be evil. I'm 3 cards away from the corrupted character. Learn how far I am from the closest corrupted character. That would imply that there's no other closer corrupted characters. Do we even have anyone that can corrupt? If this happens to be a plague doctor. I don't know if there's a plague doctor because of But other than that, there'd be nothing that would give corruption. So this is suspicious. That may very well be evil. Oh, there's a day-night cycle now. But we don't have an evil that interacts with day-night right now. So that's fine. Now you're saying 1, 5, or 8 are evil. If you're telling the truth, then 1 is lying. And 2 is also evil. So that would make 1 and 2 evil together. And then I can't trust this. Well, let's look at 8. An investigator. You suspect 8. Well, potentially. You are suspecting... Okay, we got 2 people pointing at 1 and 5 here. They're saying only one of them is evil. Interesting. Well, actually, they also think 7 could potentially be. This is tough. Okay. 6. Don't forget, there's a lot of baddies here. There's a lot. We haven't even found the outcast yet. And 1 random outcast among them, if any. Pick 3 characters. Well, the Rambler is here, and you're giving us information, so you're pretty evil, I'm thinking. We got the Slayer, who doesn't give us information unless I try and stab. Okay, what is number 9? Bishop. Between 1, 5, and 6, there's Villager, Outcast, and Minion. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but none of those are outcasts. Oh, there's a drunk. One of these is a drunk. If this person's telling the truth, then one of these would be the drunk. Nobody else has really looked at 9 whatsoever. I could use the investigator. The most suspicious of them. And suspicion goes from demons or minions, outcast, villagers. So I could potentially see if one of these is a fool. I would really like to know if 1 is a fool, because that would give us information on 2. Wait, is this a villager, outcast, evil? They're the most suspicious type among them. Both of these would be nice to know. 1 or 9 is an outcast. So one of these is the fool. Or, yeah. One of them is the fool. And the fool always lies. I don't know which yet. Or the drunk always lies. They're in 1 random outcast among them, if any. So what I'm going to do is pick you. You and you. 1, 2, 7, there's a lycanthrope. If she's telling the truth. 1. So it might not actually be a fool. Lycanthropes. Oh, the lycanthrope is why there's a day-night cycle. Oh, so now they're evil. We have got people pointing at... everyone's pointing at everyone, and I don't know who to believe. So I need to trust one of them. And then have the Slayer probably confirm. Between 1, 5, and 7, there's a villager, outcast, and minion. Can I act off of that? Okay, let's assume 1 is telling the truth. And they say 2 is good. 2 would then be saying 7 or 5 are evil. So far, there's nothing that can provoke or make this bard on number 5 be true. Because there's no corruption. Actually, that's not true. The drunk is corrupted. The drunk is corrupted. So if she's telling the truth, then 2 or 8 are the drunk. If they're the drunk, they're still considered good. They just lie. Let's have the Slayer confirm 5. Couldn't kill 5. 5 is not evil. And they're not the drunk. Well, they could still be the drunk. But they're actually pointing at 8 and 2. I'm a fool. I should have tested them. 1, 2, and 7. Here's a lycanthrope. You are saying 7 or 5. 5 seems probably good. I think 8 might be the drunk. So I'm going to kill 7 and see what happens. They were evil. Okay, good. I still don't know where the lycanthrope is, though. Okay. So they were lying to us that 1, 5, or 8 are evil. I'm pretty sure 8 is the drunk at this point, then. And that 1 and 5 are good. And 2 is good. Oops. I think this is the case. Now, I don't know about the bishop. I think the bishop might be raw or lying to us. I'm going to kill the bishop. They were the chancellor. Aha! That means they're beside a neutral, which is, I'm theorizing, is 8. 8 as the outcast. And probably got transformed into it. So where's the lycanthrope? 1, 2, 7, there is lycanthrope. That doesn't seem very likely at this point. If I kill her, then... Okay. Well, it wasn't 7, so 1 or 2 is the lycanthrope. So it started off as being good, but is no longer good. I don't know what order I flipped. I would have flipped 2 over early before 1 became evil. There are 3 characters, only 1 is evil. Only one of them can be evil. And if they were the lycanthrope to start with, they would have told us the truth. And they would have pointed at 7 being the evil one, being 5 and 1 are good. 1 could be the lycanthrope turned evil. And that means 3 is probably the other evil. Let's test... Nope, they were not. Okay. 2 was the lycanthrope. What? Oh, that was so difficult. I knew it would be really difficult, but holy crap. Ah, man. There's only so many pairs that could be, too, because the puppeteer has to be beside the puppet. But, all right, well, we lose 1 life. That was really tough. Ba and 2 minions and 1 hidden because of Ba. So there's 1 outcast. Okay. More importantly, corruption-wise, no, there's the alchemist, which can't be corrupted. I guess there could be... The outcast could cause one. There are no corrupted characters. I'm inclined to believe you right now. I'm the original baker. Oh god, that means we're going to flip over and someone else is going to be converted to being a baker. Learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. Okay. 4. I was a druid. Fortune teller. Pick 2 characters. Learn if any of them is evil. Another bard. I am 2... Well, these can't be both true. And well, I guess we have to reveal everything before we decide. I was a witness. A witness? I don't even know what that class is. There was 1 corruption around me. There's nothing here that can create corruption. So I'm looking at 3 characters here that are all very clearly lying. Well, apparently there's no corrupted characters. So you were lying. There was 1 corruption around you. I don't believe you. Okay. So where's the last one? Just the regular old minion. So it comes down to how I use the fortune teller and the druid. Pick 2 characters, learn if any of them is evil. Well, if you lie to me about this, one of them is evil. Yes, that's true. So you are good, but you didn't help me actually reveal anything. So, but I know it's not you. 3 characters, learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. That's not very helpful, actually. I'm inclined to believe the original baker is true because no one else is claiming to be it. So it's probably number 4 or number 7, and I don't know which. Let's see if there's any outcasts. There is a wretch. Among 2, 4, and 7. No, there is not. So I actually am inclined to believe this druid is the evil one. Oh, that's excellent. Okay. I'm like, no, the wretch is over here. There can't be 2 of them in this case. So all the bakers checked out. The original baker was very safe. 4 and 7, either one of them technically could have been the minion. But this way I got to check literally everybody just by using this one ability. That's excellent. All right, village 7 of 7. Get 2 chances here. Between 2, 5, and 8, there's an outcast, minion, and villager. All right, let's look at our possibilities here. Puka, lots of corruption, chancellor, drunk. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not gonna be able to believe anybody. Don't even get a plague doctor, man. I'm 2 cards away from the corrupted character, which would imply 9 and 4, neither of which are here. Let's check 8. Both sides are equally evil. 5. I am 2 cards away from the corrupted character. Okay, no. Well, it could be true. Bombardier. Another architect who says the left side is more evil. This one says both sides are equally evil. 2 is a real bard. 6. 9 was afflicted by an evil. Afflicted by an evil. That means they probably wouldn't have been corrupted. All right, let's just say number 6 is good and not corrupted. It says 9 was afflicted by an evil. That means they were corrupted. That would mean 9 or 8 or 1 are Puka. 8. I can't verify yet. If 9 was corrupted, that would be validated by 2. Would not be validated by this guy. So 5 would be probably lying and probably evil. Oh, but if 8 is Puka, 7 wouldn't ever be able to make this claim to begin with. Unless they're lying, and 2 is also evil. Which would mean that wouldn't justify this. So that's pointing to 1 actually being Puka. Now here's a question. If I kill 1 and they're good, that does tell me that what they said is true. Unless they're corrupted, of course. But if they're corrupted, then I have a very good idea of where Puka is. Okay. I think I do it. I think it's worth the 5 HP. Okay, they were not corrupted. And in fact, one of those 3 is a villager, one's an outcast, and 1 is evil. Okay, so one of them is the fool. One of them is the drunk, I should say. One of these is, it's one of the bards. One of the bards is the fool. And one of them is evil. One of the 8 or the other are evil. Okay. So they are all immediately suspicious. Don't really have much in the way to back that up other than 7 says 2 is a real bard. I could, let's see. 1 has to be evil. I could use the Slayer to verify if the left side's more evil. That is looking more and more true. So if I'm going to use the Slayer to kill someone, it would be 5 or 8. If they can't kill 5, that means they're probably drunk. If they do kill 5, great. If they can't kill 5, then 8 is almost certainly... No, that would make 2 the evil one. Would it? However, I'm concerned if 2 is... everything seems... Oh, no. Everything's pointing... multiple people are pointing toward 9 being corrupted, but not evil himself. Oh, yeah. And then 5 is probably the fool or evil. So let's couldn't kill 5. They're probably the fool. I'm going to kill 8. And I was wrong. They were corrupted. 5 was, in fact, the fool. So I was right in that regard. Oh, yeah, Puka. I should have thought about that. Damn, that was so difficult. Look at that setup. That is brutal. He was corrupted. So he's lying about that. 2 is a real bard. Who was in fact lying to cover for this minion. Oh my gosh, that is savage. Okay, we get one more try. Chancellor, Puka, and Shaman. Oh my, and drunk. Oh, this is gonna be just as difficult. Okay, a knight. We get a freebie. They are in fact a real knight. Number 5 is good. Number 6 is good. Well, one of you could be the drunk. The shaman, oh no, there could be 2 of them. There legitimately could be 2 of them. Another knight. Well, well, I love knights because they're so easy to confirm. Well, 5, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are lying, so you may be corrupted, or you may be evil. If you're corrupted, Puka is number 4. If you're evil, you're the shaman. So let's look at number 4. I'm 2 cards away from the closest evil. That, if you were Puka, that would probably be true, unless number 3 is evil. 6 or 7 is a chancellor. Technically true. the Rambler. And then number 7 doesn't give us any information, but there's 2 oracles. There was 2 knights and 2 gem crafters. There's too many. Well, I know 6 is evil or corrupted. It's looking more and more like they're evil. And 4 is not Puka. But maybe 3 is Puka and has corrupted the other 2. That looks likely. Yes, because now your 2 is now lying about 5 because she's corrupted. You're lying because there's actually 1 away from you because you're corrupted. 3 is Puka. What? They weren't corrupted. So 4 is not... Oh, sorry. 4 was corrupted. Because the Puka's right beside him. I almost threw. Well, I kind of did throw. Why did I execute 3? They told the truth. They literally told the truth. I was just dumb. I was so excited. So 4. I can't believe you anymore. But you are in fact confirmed good. Okay. Good but corrupted. 5 is good. That was a lie. You're not corrupted by Puka. Therefore you are the drunk. Knight's already good, so it has to be 8. What is going on? How? You son of a bitch. What? What? I guess that Puka was between 2 of the evils, so couldn't corrupt anybody. That is unfreaking believable. I didn't consider that. That's a possibility. But damn, that's rough. Well, we go again, I guess. Because this game's too good. I can't stop. Okay, there's a witch, so I don't get to reveal all the tiles, but that's fine. 2 or 4 is a witch. There are no corrupted characters. I mean, that's straight up true. Nobody can be corrupted. So I'm inclined to believe you. 4 may be the witch. I can just lose if I execute you. There's a slayer. Well, that actually, let's just verify it. Yes, for free. Wait, yeah, because he wouldn't kill him if it was a true neutral. All right, very quick for round 1. Let's make up time. 4 is a real medium. I mean, maybe. 1 is a real medium. Why did they have to be pointing at each other? That makes it so hard. Oh, there's a day-night cycle. Hold on. Minion and twin minion. Well, if 1 isn't real, then the other's a lycanthrope too. The lycanthrope is why there is a timer. I am 1 guard away from the closest evil. If I kill 1, then 4 is evil. And like if 1 is evil. Hell yeah, even before we're speedrunning this. Both evils are pointing at each other. Okay. Sure. Fantastic. Left side is more evil. Let me look. What do we got here? Twin minions, a puppeteer, and a plague doctor, and an alchemist. Okay. We have a lot to work with here. There was 1 corruption around you. The right side is more evil. The left side's more evil. Okay. I am dizzy. That means they're evil or corrupted. But if they were corrupted, the alchemist would have cleared them. Assuming it's a real alchemist. Don't actually know that yet. Plague Doctor. Okay. Another confessor. So one of them... Oh, no. Okay. There are 2 pairs of evil. Oh, there's 2 Plague Doctors, huh? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. The alchemist cannot be corrupted. Both of the confessors. One of them probably was corrupted. Actually, no. I think both of them have to be evil. Puppet. So the puppeteer is this one or this one. I don't know which yet. It could be up to 4 evils, so... You're saying the left side's more evil. Let's kill 6. Okay. Twin minion. Which Plague Doctor is the real one? So either 7 or 4 was the corrupted. I'm inclined to believe the alchemist at this point. Because one of the Plague Doctors is real. One of the Plague Doctors is fake. So does that mean 1 is probably a good person? And that is painting... Well, that doesn't actually narrow down shit, to be honest. Although it makes 8 more suspicious than 2. I don't think there's anybody corrupted for the Plague Doctor to reveal. What I can do is have them both test the same person. And one of them will tell us the truth, one will tell us a lie. He's saying 7 is evil, 4 is corrupted. 4 can't be corrupted because of the alchemist. Unless the alchemist is evil. What do you say? 4 is not corrupted. I'm thinking number 2 is evil. And is the puppeteer. Sure is? Okay. Okay. Now, whoever says the left side's more evil is clearly wrong. There's at least 2 on the right. Therefore, I'm thinking... Oh, wait, there's 2 pairs of evil if the knitter is true. But if the knitter is evil, then this guy would be good. And would have said equal instead of left. So I'm inclined to believe that 1 is actually the evil. Hell yeah, we're good. Oh, we're so good. Never mind the first 40 minutes of this video. We're so good. A knight. We get to test them for free. Okay, that's a real knight. An alchemist says there was no one corrupted around him. True. There's no way for anyone to be detected as corrupted. I am 1 card away from the closest evil. If true... That points to 4, probably. Chancellor's 2 cards away from the closest evil. Suspicious. A rambler, huh? And you didn't get distracted. The wretch doesn't help us here. The bard. I am 1 card away from corrupted character. That seems like it's just a straight lie because it's the alchemist here. I suspect you are evil. And you are evil. That was so easy. What is going on? Okay, we are literally speedrunning through this. Jester. Allows us to pick 3 characters, learn how many of them are evil. Let's see. We got Puka. Oh, gosh. The Witch, so I can't even reveal all the cards. And the Shaman. Looks like Puka's the only corruption available. A second Jester, huh? That seems highly unlikely, my dude. That seems highly unlikely. Fortune Teller. Pick 2 characters, learn if any of them is evil. I would suspect one of those is evil. There's only 1 pair of evil, so if I find an evil, there's got to be someone beside it. Oh, that's not true. Could be the singular. There's a pair of 2 pairs. So if I find 2 evils beside each other, the third one cannot be touching them. Not be adjacent. Bombard, that's useless. That's not good. I am 4 cards away from the closest evil. That seems highly unlikely. You're probably corrupted or evil. I am 2 cards away from the closest evil. And I can't reveal the last card. Oh, good lord. All right, we got to find out who Puka is. Somehow. This is a nightmare. If I can find Puka, I can find out who's lying pretty easily. So we need to use both jesters to try and validate themselves. Learns how many are evil. If I do these three, there are 2 evils among them. What does he say? That would imply like 6 and 4 are almost certainly evil. If 2 is telling the truth. I am suspecting 7 is just crazy, but about of these, there are 0 evils. You're backing up 2, which doesn't seem likely because there's 2 jesters, and I expect one of them to be bad. Two cards away from the closest evil. I'm thinking 2 is... Wait. 2 might be Puka. That's a witch. Fortune teller. Pick 2 characters, learn any of them are evil. Well, this guy was telling the truth. And he, that means he's not evil, not corrupted. So 3 can't be Puka. He could still potentially be the shaman. 7 is saying that 3 is evil. I don't know where Puka is yet. Now, this guy could technically be 2 away from 6 being evil as well. 1 is a jester who said that 3 was good. So 3 is getting more credibility. So I want to know, is the fortune teller or the hunter or Puka? This one I think I could just start YOLOing, but let's see what they have to say. Let's see if you're lying or not. So you're going to tell me if any of them are evil. So I can pick you and you. It says true. So did not lie. So it's not Puka, not corrupted. That's implying that 7 is either corrupted or evil. And that's... He was corrupted. So 6 is Puka. Okay, then who's the shaman? Wait, you lied. There was an evil among these 3. Okay, we did it. We did it. Hold on, that doesn't add up. Flag Doctor. Okay, so we could have a corruption. Puppeteer and Puka. Okay, everybody's going to be corrupted. We're almost guaranteed. So I can almost guarantee that everything here is a lie. That means 5 is probably... I was going to say evil, but... They're looking pretty evil. Yeah, they're looking pretty evil. I'm 1 card away from corrupted character. I'm 2 cards away from the closest evil. And then the dreamer. Well, assuming the odds are extremely high of people being corrupted, I'm thinking 5 is probably Puka, but I will use his ability just in case. 2, let's see him. 3 is evil. 2 and 4 is corrupted. Did it actually does not actually clear it. It just says, I'm going to test the other Plague Doctor and see what they say. 4 is not corrupted. So 5's findings actually back up what 3 is saying, but 5 is saying 3 is evil. And if 3 was evil, he'd be dying, he'd be lying, or would be telling the truth when he should be lying. Therefore, 5 is evil. Gotcha. And that makes 4 evil or corrupted. But this guy was lying when he said 4 was corrupted. This guy said he was not corrupted. He's just the puppet. Oh, it's Puka. That means 6 has to be the puppet. Okay. Wow, that went way better than I thought. Okay, nice. Very nice. We're already on 7 out of 10. 7 out of 7. We're getting better at this, or we got a lot luckier. 3 to 4 demons. Poisoner, Puppeteer, and Lilith. Kill a random unrevealed character, deal 2 damage to you at night. A random unrevealed character. Oh, it doesn't have to be a good one. It could be evil. She could kill evil. Huh. Okay, corruption-wise is the Poisoner, but there's also the Alchemist. If we can find the Alchemist early, that'd be ideal. Let's do 6 and 7. You just said shut up. That means 9 is the Rambler. That means 8 won't help us very much. Okay. There's a Dreamer. I'm going to roll among them and one that is not. So if I check 3 and 2. Hunter or Poisoner. I suspect 3 is the Poisoner. Or this person's lying and is corrupted. Am I willing to risk it to avoid... I think let's reveal. So they kill a random character. I don't know if they are good or bad. I assume good, but... I'm 3 cards away from the closest evil. Well, they're pointing at each other. Nine is almost certainly the Rambler. Wait, I can do this again? My ability refreshes after each night. Oh! So you're saying among 1 and 3 there's a Hunter and Poisoner. What if I do 3 and 4? Alchemist or Hunter? The Poisoner... Mr. Hunter. If that 4 is an alchemist. Uh-oh, one of these is lying. One of these is lying. Or she's lying, for that matter. Actually, it looks more like she's lying. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. He was telling the truth. One of them has to be true, one of them is not true. No one corrupted around you, huh? What are the odds of that? Reasonable. They were not corrupted. Reveal 5. Judge. Are you telling the truth? You're supporting it. It's looking like the Hunter is pretty evil. 4 is not good. Or 4 is good, sorry. 4 is saying the truth. 2 people are supporting 4. Kill 3. 9 is supposed to be the Rambler. Which makes 8 looks like they're evil. But they... We need to find the Poisoner and the Puppeteer. Someone could be killed here. 4 could be corrupted. Or, sorry, 8 could be corrupted. And 7 was like the Poisoner or something like that. Or 8 could be the Poisoner themselves. Here's the problem with this. Okay. Alchemist or Hunter? Oh no, that guarantees that the Alchemist is real, unless 6 got corrupted. And then would be lying. But the Alchemist... That would imply that it's... Oh man, that's really tough. Technically 1 could also be evil. I don't have a good way to determine. All right, we got to go through all of our options here. So of the remaining, we've got the Poisoner, who corrupts an adjacent minion. We got a Puppeter, who converts an adjacent minion. One of these have to be bad, right? And probably 8 is bad too. I think 8's covering for 4. I think it's all 3 of these, to be honest. Puppet. That means 7 was the Puppeteer. Now, 4, saying the truth according to 5. It's the Poisoner that's remaining. It could still be 1. It could still be 1. 1 could have just been the Poisoner and not been beside anybody. But all right, let's go through all our options. Number 5, imagine they are the Poisoner. They would have corrupted 4, which would mean 4 would have been lying. Within range 2, he can't be corrupted. He cannot be corrupted. So if 5 was a Poisoner, he'd be telling the truth about 4, and therefore 5 can't be evil in this case. 4, if they are the Poisoner, then 5 would be corrupted. And therefore, what 4 is saying would be a lie. And what 5 is saying would be a lie. That's a possibility. 4 could be the Poisoner, with 5 being corrupted. Then number 1, I've got nothing to back him up other than the fact that the Rambler actually did shut him up. So, it looks like 4 is probably... Nope, it was 1. It was 1. It was 1. I think when he checks corruption around him, it doesn't include himself. And therefore, he would have been telling the truth and could not have been the Poisoner. But, no, if he was the Poisoner, he would have converted... He would have made number 5 corrupted. So it would have been the truth. Or it would have been a lie, sorry. I think that was pretty much 50-50. As far as I can tell. Let me know if there was a line of reasoning there that I could eliminate the 50-50. Oh, hey, we got like a very similar setup here. Lilith again, Shaman, so there can be duplicate characters. And we got the Poisoner and the Plague Doctor. Okay. Knitter, there's only 1 pair of evil. Well, that doesn't really help us early on. Plague Doctor. Is 1 that seems not high value. 5 is a real Bardi. If I reveal another character, someone's gonna die. Someone unrevealed. So it might help us to do this. 3 is not corrupted. Well, okay. I could have just, yeah. I should have tested 1. I should have. A Druid. Learn 1 random outcast among them, if any. For any of these outcasts. 6, 7, and 8, there is Wretch. Well, we can test that pretty easily. No corruption around you, huh? That would have to mean all of the corruption ended up on the right-hand side of the Knitter and Medium. That seems highly unlikely. So either you can't be corrupted, so you're probably evil. 4 or 6 is a Shaman. If I reveal the last one, nobody can die at night, so we're fine. You said one of these is the Wretch. There's no Wretch. 5 is not corrupted and told the truth. Therefore, I think clears them, which means the druid is... Well, the druid could still be corrupted from the plague doctor, but not the poisoner. They could also just be lying. They could just be evil. And since I know there's only... Well, I don't actually know for sure. There's possibly only one pair of evil. That would check out. If this is true, then 4 is probably evil, and 2 of these 3 are evil. Probably the alchemist. If I kill 4 and 4 turns out to have been good, then this is wrong, and you're one of the evils. Or corrupted, I guess. Shit. Well, I know none of you guys can be corrupted. Alright, we're gonna kill 4. They were corrupted. Frick. Well, I think... There's only one pair of evil, huh? But they'd all be here or you're evil. Wait, he said there was no corruption nearby. He's evil. Okay. Gotcha. Only one pair of evil. If you're telling the truth, they're all beside each other, and I don't think that's true. There'd be 2 pairs. There'd be this pair and this pair. Therefore, you're lying and or corrupted. I don't know what 9 is. I don't know if 9 was the poisoner. I don't think so. I don't think they can kill an evil at night. So I think 1 is evil. They told the truth. Wait, what? The poisoner was here. God dang it. I keep forgetting that's possible. Oh, that's why this person was corrupted. Why didn't I think they were corrupted? The Bombardier. Oh. Oh, this son of a bitch. Number 3 covered for this. And because it's the Bombardier, I'm scared to execute them. I got played like a fiddle. Damn. Okay, well, we got 2 more tries. We got so far so fast. Shaman, Chancellor, Lilith. Bombardier, Doppelganger. Oh, okay. Enlightened. Closest evil is clockwise. I'm going to check 9 then. 6 is a real knight. Well, we can validate both of you here. That is true. That is true. And obviously you're good. Well, it is looking more and more like the nearest evil would be here. But if I kill the Bombardier, we just lose. Well, let's see what 8 says. 8 is a Bombardier. Well, 4, Bishop. 1, 5, and 6, there's an outcast, minion, and villager. 1 could be the minion. That would have meant they killed an outcast here. Could have killed the doppelganger, I suppose. Or you're lying and you're just evil. 7 say dreamer. I'm gonna roll that is among them and one that is not. Well, I know this is a real knight, multiple ways. So what about the bishop? One is a chancellor or bishop. Excuse me? Why did I just blatantly believe them? Thought that was the case. But they were wrong. They lied. There's no corruption here, right? No corruption. So 7 is evil. Okay. 3, what do you got? Shaman is 3 cards away from closest evil. They can reveal the last one. There's no one still left to kill. Clockwise. Clockwise. They're both saying the same thing. There's only one more evil left. One of them is lying. If 2 is Okay, if one is evil and they are lying, then the closest evil would have to be to the left, which seems wrong because it would be equidistant at the very least. No, it would probably be. That would point to 3 being evil as well, which doesn't work. Wait, no, sorry. If 1 is evil, then the closest evil is actually to the left, counterclockwise, which would be the Bombardier number 7, which would clear 2 and 3 and 4, which that doesn't make any sense. I don't think 1 can be evil, which means 2. Wait, there's a doppelganger possibility. This could be the doppelganger. This person was lying that there was no Ghost Minion and Villager. So I suspect they were all villagers. This is all pointing to number 3 being evil. We did it. We did it. Ascension complete. If you enjoyed this, please do leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you guys next time. I do upload videos every single day. So if you enjoy games like this, you may enjoy my channel. And this game is awesome. So if you want to play it for yourself, there's a link in the description for the free demo. Open to everybody. And I'm having a ton of fun with it. It's really, really satisfying to find out all of the evils who's corrupted. There's some combinations that are definitely a lot meaner than others, but I'm definitely feeling like the skill set is evolving of figuring out the patterns and what is possible and running into the different combinations that are somewhat edge cases that you don't really see all that often. But once you see them, you go, I have to keep that in mind for the future. So I'll see you guys next time.